Hi guys, weekly rune reading, and yeah, I'm doing this on a different camera so it might look slightly different, but I'm having a lot of problems with my cameras at the moment. So I wanted to talk about, first of all, I've got a nice bit of incense going, and I really wanted to talk about the runes. But what do you do when you pick your runes? Well, basically, you're asking and putting yourself into them. You're using your intuition and your heart and your soul. You're using what's being given to you. It's very hard to explain for those that don't do it, but to get what you're looking for, you really need to abandon yourself to the energies that's coming. And I also like to go intuitively with my readings. So today's one is not going to be long and drawn out. These weekly ones are just going to be a rune reading with maybe a little bit of insight to help you if you're wanting to do it yourself. So I always start off with my rune bag with my runes in, and I get my incense stick, guys. And today I'm using dragon's blood because dragon's blood is good for cleansing and getting rid of negativity and anything that shouldn't be around. So you just want to put it all around, just getting that intent and cleansing your stones in your bag. And you can open the lid up and just put the smoke in and then come out, and that way your stones will get done. And it's great. Then you do it around yourself, cleansing yourself and taking breaths in of it. So there you go. Oh, it's lovely. And then just put it in your holder on the side. I have a candle going in the background. I love my candles, as you know if you watch my videos. Anyway guys, today I'm going to do a reading. It is full moon today and it's in Libra. Now Libra is all about balance, and things around springtime is getting into balance because we've had coming out of winter and everything's up in the air, and literally everything's got to get aligned again and we've got to get balanced. And so a Libra moon is really good because again you're balancing yourself, but you're taking a look back and you're focusing on you, not on anything else. So you're getting things right with yourself. And so it's a good time to do readings, but it's also a good time to do meditations and path workings and getting in with your guides and getting what they want you to look about in yourself. So it's very good for that too, guys. And I just love readings around the full moon because those energies are strong, knowing what it is that you need to do. So if you're doing a meditation and it's about yourself, if anything comes to mind, then work on that. If it's like you need to look after your health, then look into what you're doing or not doing. So that's where I'm going to leave it on that. Now you get your bag. Why do we shake it? Because you could just put your hand in at that, because you don't want to put your energy in it yet. So you shake your bag. I'm sorry if that's noisy. Shaking your bag. Then you want to get your intent before you put your hand in. You want to open up yourself so that you can get the right reading for the day. So what I normally do, guys, is I see that universal energy coming down as a white light, and it's coming down from the middle of the universe. You can see it coming and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you see it upon your head and it's warm and vibrant, pulsating, pure white energy. And while it's sitting here, you invite it in. Now this isn't opening your chakras, though you can do it that way, guys. I like to do it where I'm inviting the energy in to open me up. Basically, you're going to take a step back and assess yourself, letting you focus on what's important and looking at the bigger picture and just concentrate now on the reading. That energy is not going anywhere till you let it go. So it's there for the reading. Then you can put your hand in and just feel the stones just in your hands, just feeling them, feeling what they feel like. Are they hot? Are they cold? Is there any area that's pulling to you? And if there is, it could come as like coldness or vibration or just a longing to touch one of them. And at the moment I'm feeling two that I want to pull out. I'm going to put them on here by my side, and I feel we need the third one. So where do I want to go? Oh, and sometimes you get like a pulling in your solar plexus. It's quite an uncomfortable feeling, but it means there's one that's desperate to come through. So we've got 3. Let's have a look. Algaes. It's all about protection. In Yggdrasil, at the bottom of the tree, the elk will bite the roots. And it has the wonderful, it looks just like that. Their horns go like that. And that's what this is it depicting. They're very protective and they're very strong. And as long as you're not doing silly things, you will be protected. But you have to be careful in what way you're treading. So make sure whatever it is you're doing, that you're not overstepping what you're meant to be doing. So it could be that it's a favourable time for you at the moment, and that this rune will be your protection against, if you don't do it the right way. You've got to be careful in how you step out into what you're doing. Now this could be, and now let me see what's coming through while I hold the rune. I feel this is relationships. It's a time of the year where people get itchy feet because we're coming into a time of the sun and everything's getting nice and light in the evenings, and people get like that wandering type of spirit. They get this eager feeling of change, making changes, and so they might be looking at their relationships or job situation, or even just their health. And so sometimes we can get a little bit beyond ourselves and push ourselves into things. For example, if it's a health thing, maybe losing weight, you join a gym or you join a club and pay out money that you haven't got to do something that you're not going to stick at. Because guys, you have to be realistic. If you are not the athletic type, you're not going to stick at going to a gym. So take it slower. The algaes has come to tell you to do things, but do it in a protective way to you. Don't spend lots of money on clubs. Go to your local swimming bars, have a swim. That is a lot less money, and it's not in black and white where you have to go every week or every so many days. People overstep their marks, and that is a saying for me today. Don't overstep your mark. What do I mean? The mark. The mark is you and your boundaries. So if it's in a relationship, you might start thinking things could be better. How can I make things better? And then you go above and beyond and start cooking gourmet meals, and the other half expects that then every day. No, expense, time, will get fed up with it. You have to be true to yourselves. And I think this is what Algis is trying to tell you today. Whatever the endeavour, don't go too far. If it's something you're not going to be able to keep up, because you'll be miserable. Tenaz is the torch and the fire in the torch, because you need fire to make light, and torches produce light. And if you look at the symbol, it's like it's opening up a light. If you imagine the torch bit here, where am I? If you imagine the torch bit, can't do it on this camera. You imagine the torch bit here, yeah? So if there was a torch and the light's coming out, so that's the way I look at it. I also look at it as an open mouth. You know, you're opening up. You're opening up something you can see a bit better. And the torch does that. It highlights a situation. It highlights whatever's going on, Sometimes you don't want to see what it's highlighting, but in some situations it's good to have that insight. So for example, you're gaining insight into something you've not noticed before. And once you know that, it's an amazing feeling, because you think, oh, why didn't I see that before? Why couldn't I do that before? But don't think that that is the end product, because it isn't. It's the start. It's the start of seeing something. So it could be that you started a new course, or you're doing a university course, or you're starting a new job, and you think you know, because you've got insight, what it is all about. That could trip you up, and that's where Algis comes in, because you need that protection to stop yourself from making a fool of yourself. So for example, you could say, for example, like what I'm doing, you could say to somebody, hey, I've got a bag of runes, I know what I'm doing, let's do a reading. And you get one out and you haven't got a clue what it is, but you make it up because you want to be the one that's doing it. Now, insight will then tell you, hang on, you need to learn what these runes mean. But inside you're thinking, yeah, I've got that insight, but I'm still doing it my way because it's easier. Do you see what I mean? So whatever it's in, be it a relationship, you think you know the person, you know what they like, you know what they want, so you go ahead and you trip yourself up. That is what it's saying. It's opening up the torch on a situation. Sometimes it's telling you, be careful, don't go there. And we don't always take heed, guys. It's just the way we are. We know something's not right, but we carry on regardless. Could be you know you're doing something wrong at work, but you keep doing it because even though you know you're doing it, you can't stop yourself. Or it might be that you want to help people and you're saying things to them, but you've not looked into what it is you're telling them, and they're taking every word in. You're going to get yourself in trouble, because not only does the torch shine light on a situation, but it's burning. It's a fire. It's so bright, the light, that it's going to burn you if you get too close. Do you see what I mean? So that's another good rune, really. But I do feel, because of the moon and we're in Libra, it's about knowing yourself within, and all the bad parts of ourselves, the bits that we really do know that we can be obnoxious. I say that word lightly, because we might not think we sound that way, but to other people, they might not enjoy your presence. And so it's getting good with ourselves. It's seeing the points we need to tweak and align. And once we've done that, and we're doing it properly, for example, you don't need to cook gourmet meals for your partner, but instead you can say, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we cooked a meal together? Or wouldn't it be nice if we sat down together and had a chat? Because life gets in the way, guys, and sometimes you come home from work and you've got one person on the computer, another one watching the telly, and there's no conversation, there's no communication. And so to make a partnership better, it hasn't got to be a meal. It can just be, let's make time for each other, shining that torch on the things we're doing that do not help in the relationship. Let's go on to the third one. Rado is a lovely rune, but it's about the start of cycles. The year is full of cycles, guys, and when you enter into a new cycle, which is spring, you're starting from scratch again. I do like to see the seasons as a beginning, a middle and an end. So if you're going into winter, you've got the beginning, which isn't quite so bad, the middle, which is awful, and the end, which is you're coming out. And it's the same in spring, like a seed being planted in the earth, and then middle time is its full bloom, and then at the end it's starting to die off in that season. Well, it's the same in us, guys. We start something and it gets to a crescendo and then it finishes. It can insinuate that you are actually in a very hard place at the moment, and that it's a good saying to say things don't last forever, that times don't stay that way. that you can be strong because you know it will end. And sometimes it takes more than one cycle. Sometimes it takes more than 1 year. But if you start as you mean to go on, you will get an outcome. But you have to go through the beginnings to get to the end of the story. And so it's a journey. You're travelling. And you're travelling through spring. And you're in a full moon, which is telling you to get a balance. So if you've got things that's worrying you on your mind, if you've got things that's interrupting your feelings and making you aggravated and very ratty with people and not being able to be happy because of the issue, you have to deal with it. And I feel in this circumstance, that could be a health issue. It could be something that you're evading and not getting sorted. Something that you need to, because you feel guilty, because you know that whatever it is you're thinking it might not be. But it might be something that needs to be looked at. And the longer you leave it, the worse it could get. And so you've got to be brave and you've got to go and seek help. Your family around you don't want you disappearing on them because you couldn't sort it out, because in here you're thinking one thing, but the outcome is up to you. No one else can make that. It's also in things like buying a home or decorating or doing your garden. Everything takes time, guys. And so you have to be patient and not impatient. It's a journey. Enjoy the journey. Don't think I need the end, because the end is the goal. Exactly. It's the goal. In all of this, on this reading, we have a goal, and we have to be protected, use our noddles, and do what we need to do to be safe, to be happy, and to enjoy spring with our families, with communication, and with a lot of love for others. And that's not a bad reading, guys. I really don't think that's a bad reading, actually. Something we need. We need to take a deep look at ourselves sometimes and do the things we keep putting off. And it could be something as stupid as, I have to make sure the cat litter's been done, and you keep putting it off, and then the cat poos on the floor. You see my point? It's not laziness. It's that we've got so much going on. In this day and age, we are inundated with noise and things running around us the whole time. It's no wonder we can't sleep at night and we can't deal with things. And this is what Algies is all about, protecting yourself. Kenaz, shining a light on your situation, and Rado, going through the journey and enjoying it for what it is. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So I hope you're all well, guys. And I'll be back again next week for a new reading. So enjoy the full moon. I hope you're all doing your rituals and things, or even if you're just going to go out and look at it. It's a lovely, lovely Libra moon this time. And I do love the moon. I love the energy of the moon. And it's good for you. Do your moon water, guys, and things like that. Anyway, I hope you're well, as I said earlier. I hope to see you again next week. So wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Alang.